Okay. So go ahead and make your way onto your seat, into your chair. Bring the shoulders stacked right above the hips, and the hips right in front of the knees, and the knees right above the ankles. And your hands can be resting just gently in your lap, palms up or down, you choose. Go ahead and close the eyes. And just take a couple minutes to feel yourself settling in here. To feel that chair underneath you. Feel the earth underneath your feet, holding you and the chair up. To feel into all those places of contact in the soles of the feet. Maybe all 10 toes are touching down, but maybe not. Just feel into that. Or to feel into your ankles. Noticing if maybe one foot's turned or needs to be adjusted or the toes need to be wiggled. Go ahead and move any way you need to here so that the feet can be more comfortably resting on the earth. And then take the awareness up to the shins and the calf muscles and into your knees. And feel into your thighs and up into your hips. And feel the whole legs, both sides. From the hips, feel into your pelvis. Feel your sits bones on the chair, noticing if perhaps you're sitting more to one side or the other. Seeing if you can even out that weight, left and right. Notice if the pelvis is tipped way forward or if the low back is rounding backwards, and see if you can tone the pelvic floor and the low belly a little bit to create that length in the low back and that support. Good, and then maintain that toning and start to bring awareness into your belly and into your back. Into your rib cage, and up into your chest. And then start to feel the breath moving from the belly to the ribs, into the chest, and moving out from the chest, the ribs, and the belly. And then start to find a little tone in the base of the throat as you start to find your Ujjayi breath, that ocean sounding breath. So you start to hear your breath, start to feel that vibration in the back of the throat, but most importantly, you start to lengthen and deepen the breath. So beginning to allow that breath to get as spacious, as expansive as you can without it feeling strained. And to allow your diaphragm to get as empty as you can, using and incorporating the abdominals and the pelvic floor, but without straining or clenching in the jaw or the face. Soften in the jaw. From here, go ahead and let go of that Ujjayi breath for now. We'll come back to it, but just come back to your normal, even rhythm of breath. If you like Ujjayi breath, if it helps keep you centered, feel free to stay with it. Otherwise, let it go and bring awareness up into your shoulders. Feeling that distance between shoulders and ears. Bring awareness down the arms, into the elbows. Down through the forearms and into the wrists. And from the wrist into the hands. Noticing if the hands are resting palm up or down, there's no right or wrong way. Just notice how you've landed. And then whichever part of the hand is making contact with your leg, feel into that connection. Feel those spaces that are making contact. And then bring the awareness back up through the shoulders and into the neck. Seeing if you can create some length in the neck by dropping the shoulders down away from the ears. Bring awareness into your jaw. With the eyes closed, just let the corners of your mouth turn up. You're coming into kind of a gentle smile. And sometimes that feels awkward. And I know when teachers ask me to do that, I'm sometimes reluctant to do that. But it actually can change your whole perspective or feeling. So just let a smile come into your face. And think of one thing you're grateful for, or you're appreciating in this moment or today, or one thing beautiful you've seen today. Something that brings joy. You can keep the smile if it feels good, or just let the face soften. Maybe even let the chin or the teeth separate. Feel up into the rest of the muscles in the face, your eyes, that space between the eyebrows, that space across the forehead. Feel into your ears, the back of the head, and all the way up to the crown of the head. And then take a moment to just feel your whole body in its entirety. Your physical body. But then also feel into that emotional body or mental body. Feel into your spiritual body. Feel into your whole being and just notice how you've shown up. Without really attaching any labels, just feel into the sensations. And then we're going to come into a controlled Ujjayi breath, which we practiced earlier. So it's going to be that toning at the base of the throat, and we're going to inhale for 4, hold for 2, exhale for 4, hold for 2, and back around. So wherever you are on your breath cycle, just exhale all of the breath. And then with that toning and that sound, go ahead and inhale for 1, 2, 3, 4, pause full, 2, and then exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, pause, empty. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, pause full. Exhale 4, 3, 2, and 1, pause, empty. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, pause full. See if you can sit up a little bit taller, and then exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, pause, empty. See if you can root your sits bones evenly down while maintaining that length. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, pause full. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, pause, empty. Last one right here. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4, pause full. Exhale 4, 3, 2, 1, and let your breath return to your normal rhythm of breath. Feel the sensations of that breath work, that pranayama. Feel the swirling in the body, streaming sensations, whatever comes to mind, or feeling that breath work. Feeling that prana, that life force energy swirl around inside of you. And then take a moment to just switch your hands. So if they're palm up, place them palm down. If they're palm down, place them palm up, and just feel that difference. Notice any shift in energy. It might be subtle, it might be big, it might not be it might be non-existent. It doesn't matter. Just notice. And then take a moment here and set any intentions you want to set for your practice. If nothing is speaking to you at the moment, just stay with that intention of staying present, staying with the breath. And as the mind wanders, that continual, gentle encouragement to come back to the present, to come back to the body and the breath. And then go ahead and let the palms come together right in front of the heart, Anjali Mudra. Take an inhale, sit up tall here, relax the shoulders. Exhale, go ahead and just bow the chin to the chest. Release the hands to the thighs. And exhale, just fold right over your thigh bones. And you can let your upper body hang, or you can rest your forearms on your thighs and just let the head hang, whichever feels okay. And then on the inhale, go ahead and roll yourself back up, or help yourself back up. Let the chin come up, let the eyes open. Beautiful. From here, we're going to go ahead and come right away into some standing work, since we took a bit of time there getting centered, and then we'll bring it back down. So from here, make sure your ankles are under the knees and the feet are hip distance and parallel. Sits bones are on the chair. Take an inhale and just stretch the arms out in front of you. On the exhale, firm the belly, start to shift the weight forward and stand yourself up. Inhale, stretch the arms tall, lift the kneecaps, feel yourself rooting down through the feet, and inhale, rising up through the crown of the head and the fingertips. And that rise really originates from the arch of the feet, up through the kneecaps, up through the pelvic floor, the belly, the crown, and the head. And then on the exhale, drop the hands to the shoulders, tone the belly again, start to sit yourself back, 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 back. Reach back, make sure the chair is there, and then sit yourself down. Good. We're going to do that again. Extend the arms forward. Pull the core into the midline. Shift the weight into the feet. Take a moment to hover, and then inhale and stand up. We're going to do that again on the way back, that little momentary hover. Exhale the hands to the shoulders, start to bend the knees. Check the knees out, that they're not caving in or out, but they're staying pointing right to the toes. Tap your bum and then hover for a count and sit. This time we hover for 5 on the way up and 5 on the way down. So inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, firm into the midline, shift the weight into the feet, really in the heels primarily, and then hover for 5, relax the shoulders, 4, relax the jaw, 3, pull the ribs and the belly in, 2, last 1, stand all the way up, inhale, stretch up. We do that same thing on the way down. Release the hands to the shoulders. As you exhale, start to sit down, back and down, back and down. You want to feel that chair. And then hover it for 5, relax your neck, get it long, 4, pull your belly away from your thighs, 3, ribs in, 2, and sit your bum down, 1. Really nice. Okay, this time it's a tap, lift, 5 times. So you're not sitting all the way down, you're just enough to touch it and then lift it. Inhale, stretch the arms forward, relax the shoulders. Exhale, shift the weight forward, find the weight in the feet. Take an inhale here, tap, exhale, lift. Tap, lift. Tap, lift, 3 more, tap, I know it's hard, lift, into tap and lift. Stand all the way up, reach up tall. Get the legs nice and long, the side body nice and long, open up. Okay. We got that one more time. Arms come down. Start to sit back. It's that tap and lift. So as soon as you sit down, you tap your backside to that chair and then you lift it for 5. Tap and lift for 4. Pull that belly in. 3 and 2 And last one, stand all the way up. Really nice, you guys. From here, take your left hand and grab your right wrist. You can't see me, but I'm grabbing my wrist. Pull it up and take it over to the left. Try and keep your shoulders squared, your belly strong, and only go as far as you can do while maintaining your balance here. So you're not holding on to anything. The balance is in your own 2 feet. If that's not feeling stable, sit in the chair and take this same stretch, totally fine. That's what it's there for. And then inhale, stretch yourself back up, separate the hands, switch. Right wrist grabs right hand grabs the left wrist, reach it up and over to the right. Shoulders forward, hips forward, and you can just let your head kind of rest on the bicep or even look down so your neck is soft and relaxed. And then inhale, stretch yourself back up. Release the hands down by your side and just take some big circles in your shoulders. Forward, up, back, and down. Forward, up, back, and down. One more in this direction. And then go the other way. Back, forward, down. Back, forward, down. One more. Back, forward, and down. Oceana. Okay, I need to be able to see you, love. No. Sorry. Back, forward. Good. Okay. Now, relax both shoulders down and back. From here, we're going to take our chair with the seat facing towards us, towards the top of the mat. We're going to come into a cat-cow with our hands on the chair, our ankles under our hips, our wrists under our shoulders, and our spine neutral. So depending on your height of your chair, your knees might need to be bent. You might need to use... Okay, from here, we're going to start to inhale, lift your tailbone. Open up through the front of the body, lift the heart, extend the crown of the head so you're not crunching the back of the neck, but it's a full extension of the spine. You're lifting your bum and you're lifting your heart, you're dropping your shoulders. And then on the exhale, curl the tailbone, pull the belly in, round in, press into your hands. And again, inhale, let the tailbone rise, let the heart extend forward and up, the crown of the head extend forward and up. And exhale, round it, curl the tailbone in, pull the belly in, press into the hands and round it. One more time, inhale, extend, and exhale, round. This time, inhale and find neutral. Step your right foot into the midline. So it's going to be what supports you. Soften the knee and take your left toes back and then roll that hip down. And then see if that foot can come maybe an inch off the ground, a couple inches, or maybe it comes in line with the hip. But if that means your hip opens, then come lower so that your hip can stay squared to the floor. Good. Now, see if that right hand can come onto fingertips on the chair and maybe even come onto the heart. So now your left hand is on the chair and your right foot's on the floor. And just hold and pause there and breathe. And breathe. Good. Set that right hand back down. Set your left foot right next to your right and you're going to switch places. Right toes go back. Left knee softens, belly and ribs pull in, and then extend that leg, extend, and lift it any amount. Left fingertips onto the chair, maybe to your heart. Ribs and belly in, neck is long. Stretch back, reach forward. Stay active in that standing leg. The kneecap lifted. Beautiful. Set the hand down, set the foot down, and then separate the feet hip distance again. Take an inhale here. And then on the exhale, set your right elbow right under your shoulder. Soften the right knee towards the chair. Left leg's going to stay straight and then float your left arm up. And then draw the left hip away from your left shoulder as you bend the right knee in. And just let the neck be neutral. Good. And then release the left elbow down under the left shoulder, bend the left knee towards the chair, right leg straightens, right hip draws back, right arm stretches up. So your hip and shoulder are drawing away from one another. Your neck is just neutral in your breathing. You should feel this down the outer right side of the leg, into the glute, that whole IT band, hopefully getting a stretch, and a little bit in the spine. Good. Release that right hand down as you straighten the left leg. Come back up onto the hands. From here, step your right foot right in between the legs of the chair and bend the knee, and then slide your left foot back. So you're coming into a lunge with your hands on the chair. Good. Left leg is straight, right knee is bent. Now lift up onto the toes of that back foot, stretch out the toes and the sole of the foot, and then extend the heel back. Now it might touch the ground, it might not, it doesn't matter, but try and keep the heel behind the toes. We're just stretching into that Achilles tendon. So inhale, stretch the toes up, the heel up. Exhale, press the heel back and down directly behind the toes. Whether or not it touches down doesn't matter. Go as far as feels good. Inhale, straighten that front leg. One more time. Exhale, bend it. Okay. Or excuse me, drop the heel. Bring the toes or the heel back up. Now straighten the front leg and draw that back hip back and the heart forward. Both legs straight now, both kneecaps lifted, left heel high. Now, stretch your hands towards the back edge of your chair so you're long here. It's like a long pier, but make sure you're not tipping that chair. So if it feels tippy, if it feels unstable, bring the hands back to the middle of the chair. Either way, whichever feels more stable. Now, as you inhale and you draw that outer right hip back, you're going to take your heart and the crown of the head forward. You should start to feel a stretch in the back of that front leg, yeah? You can come down onto your forearms. You can even bring your head down, perhaps. Then, once you feel stable here, you might take the left heels right behind the toes and take a nice long pyramid. Now, the other option is you're more upright, totally fine. The front knee can stay bent. All of those are options, so do one that feels stable. And then breathe into the back of the legs. Breathe into the side of the waist and the length of the spine and the neck. Keep the kneecaps lifted. So you're really activating those quads to support the stretch in the hamstrings. You can even soften the knees if that feels hard to access, then just soften the knees a little bit and that kind of helps turn that on. Okay, to come out of this, come back up to your hands on the chair, lift back in onto the toes of the back foot, bend your front knee. Now, from here, you're going to keep your front leg just as it is, but you're going to spin your back heel back and down. So now that foot comes flat on the ground. Your right hand's going to come in front of your right leg. Straighten your right leg, take your left hand to your hip. So now your hips are facing to the long side of your mat. Your kneecaps are lifted. Sweetheart, just stay like somewhere close where I can see you, yeah? You can't go to other people's yards right now.
I'm not going to other
people's yards. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine. Try and take that left hip back a little bit as you draw the kneecaps up. This right hand's just supporting you. And then maybe the left arm reaches up. Maybe you stay right here. This could probably feels like plenty. Or you might reach that arm so that the elbow comes down, or you might even slide that hand down onto your shin bone for triangle trikonasana pose. But the chair is right there, and it's your anchor. So lift both kneecaps, spin that left hip, waist, and ribs open, and then lengthen the right waist as well. That bottom waist is long, so you're not collapsed in, right? But you're nice and long. Good. You're gonna stay here. But just bend that front knee, and it might come to tap the front of the chair. Hopefully it's landing right over the ankle. And then from here, spin your palm to face towards your head and just reach over your ear, extended side angle. This hand can stay on the chair, or it might even slide onto your forearm onto your thigh. If you're feeling pretty stable here and you're not feeling a lot, you might inch that back foot back and get a little bit longer in your extended side angle. Just depends. Try and roll, same thing, hips, waist, ribs, and shoulder open a little bit here. Again, the chair is there, it's your anchor. Okay, take that left arm back up. From here, you're gonna spin the left arm to the chair as you spin to the toes of that left foot. The chair is your anchor, good. And then one more time, straighten that front leg, lift the kneecaps, lift the heel. And as you send the heel down, maybe lengthen your torso forward or anywhere in between that feels good. And just let the neck be long, let the spine be long, and definitely let the breath be long. The breath is creating that spaciousness in the body and in the mind. It's creating that sense of presence and anchoring. Come out of this again. Come up to the hands. Bend that front knee, and then however it works, you can put the weight into the hands and slide that front foot back so it's a little bit more stable, and then pick up that back foot and just step it forward. Come with your feet back a bit from the chair, hip distance parallel, and then take an inhale and stretch your arms to the back of the chair. Press the palms down, spin the biceps up, and then let the neck come between, your ears come between your biceps, your hips land over your heels, and stick your sits bones back as you drop the heart. And as you drop the heart, you're pressing into the hands and rolling the biceps up, or the soft creases of the elbows up towards the sky. The belly's in, the ribs are in, like a down dog. To come out of this, soften the knees, slide the hands to the front of the chair, come up a little bit. Now you're going to step your left foot to the middle of the chair. And I'm just going to turn around for sake of being able to see me. And then you're going to slide that right foot way back, or as far back as feels comfortable for this lunge. Hips are forward. Knee is bent. Feel that diagonal line from the heel of the right foot out the crown of the head. Lift up high onto your tiptoes so the heel lifts high, the left knee stays bent, and then exhale, just slowly drop that heel behind your toes, beginning to open up the Achilles tendon, the calf, and the sole of the foot. Inhale, stretch that heel up, feel the calf turn on. Exhale, press the heel back and down, open up. Maybe even lift the toes if your heel touches the ground. One more time. Inhale, press that heel up. Exhale, drop that heel down. Okay. Heel comes up, front leg straightens now. Draw that outer left hip back. Inhale, lengthen your heart forward. So kneecaps are lifted, both legs are straight, hips and shoulders are all squared forward. Hands stay here, or you can come to your forearms or reach for that back chair. And then once you feel stable, start to send that right heel down towards the floor. It may or may not touch. There shouldn't be any sharp pain. The stretching, you're finding that comfortable edge where it's stretching, but it's not hurting. So inhale, lengthen, and exhale, find that hinge, that core is drawn to the midline, the neck is long, and the kneecaps are lifted. Hold and breathe. Okay. From here, soften that front knee, come onto the toes of that back foot, walk back up to your hands. Pivot your back heel down to the ground, so now that back foot is flat, and then go ahead and straighten that front leg and slide the left hand so it's in line with that left leg. The right hand comes to the hip. Inhale, lengthen your spine, roll your chest open, roll your hip open, lift both kneecaps. Ideally, your front heel and back arch are aligned. Take the right arm up to the sky. Stay here, or inhale, lengthen, so the right hip sends back and the left shoulder, not really shoulder, but the left waist lengthens, elbow or hand to the shin or thigh. Press into the outer edge of that right foot especially. to lengthen the front ribs. From here, start to bend that front knee till it lands over the ankle. Spin the palm towards your head and reach over your ear, especially here. Press into that right foot, reach through your right arm. I realize I'm opposite you guys here if you're looking at me. Drop the left shoulder out of the ear, and then again, hand stays on the chair or forearm comes to the thigh. And then again, if you want to get a little bit longer, you just inch your feet apart. Send that breath through that whole right side. Feel it long. Even roll the pinky side of the hand down a little bit. Relax the neck a little bit. And then inhale, take that arm straight back up. As you exhale, the right hand's gonna come down as you pivot to the toes of the right foot. Hips come back to square the chair. Take an inhale here, and then as you exhale, straighten that front leg. Draw that outer left hip back and your heart forward. Heel can stay lifted or send it back again. Find a nice long pyramid. Steady in the breath. Take another couple breaths here. To come out of this, slide the hands to the back of the chair. Lift the back heel, bend the front knee, slide that front foot back a little bit, pick the back foot up, and then step it back so that you're in that same kind of down dog situation. Feet hip distance in parallel, heels under the hips. Extend the arms, press into the hands, and then send your sits bones back as you extend the heart and the crown of the head forward. From here, we're going to come into a forward fold. So if you know that you're not quite wanting to take this without the chair, bend your knees and just step your feet forward so that you can rest your forearms and head perhaps on the chair. If you're feeling pretty stable, soften the knees and your hands can slide down the legs, maybe even come onto the floor. And then just let the head go. And then we're gonna bend the left knee but straighten the right. And switch. Bend the right knee, straighten the left, like you're walking out the knees here. Walking out all the way up into the hips. You can even let the hips kind of swivel side to side. And again, the chair is great there to have for a little bit more stability. But just pedal out, walk out the knees, walk out the hips. Good. And then come with both knees soft. Inhale, come halfway up. Exhale, firm up the core. See if one hand can come to the hip. If that feels pretty stable, see if left fingertips can come down and maybe that comes to the hip. Charge the back of the legs, tone the core, and inhale, just stand yourself up. Good. Okay. From here, just take a moment here, feeling your feet on the floor, roll your shoulders back, spin your palms forward, and close your eyes if that feels available to you. And if it doesn't, take a nice soft gaze. Let's take a moment to feel the effects of that standing work, the strength in your feet, in your ankles, and in your legs. That length, that spaciousness. Beautiful. And then from here, go ahead and open the eyes, bring your hands to your hips again, soften the knees again, roll the shoulders back and tuck the elbows back. With the knees start to hinge at your hips, so no rounding the back. Once you feel like you're rounding forward, then you're gonna pause. So I want you to start to feel your spinal muscles turn on as you hinge forward. Your navel's pulled back to your spine, so the ribs are knitting together and lifting, so that whole core is corseting to the midline. Imagine you have a corset that's hugging all of your internal organs in as you hinge yourself forward slowly. Now, at any point you start to feel like you're losing it in that stability, hands come down. Yeah? Okay. So otherwise, you're working your way until you're halfway down. Now, some of you are going to be having hands on the hips. Some of you are going to be using the chair and just hovering, working on that kind of hovering your hands, releasing that weight. Some of you are going to take your hands by your hips. So we're really turning on the core here. Pull the belly in, pull the ribs in. There should be no pain in the low back. Okay, so make sure it's all super strong. And then maybe take the arms out side to side and squeeze your shoulder blades together. Neck long, spine long, firming to the midline, legs charging. One more breath. Exhale, soften the hands down. Maybe straighten the legs without locking them out and let yourself come into a forward fold. Head can rest on the chair, or you can rest just to the front of the chair. Hands can be on the legs or on the floor. From here, let yourself sway side to side, holding that chair or hands sweeping on the floor. Good. And then from here, bend your knees, pull your belly, and use the chair. And you're just going to roll yourself, roll yourself, roll yourself all the way up to stand. Good. Okay. From here, one more of this standing series. So bring your left foot into the middle of the chair and your hands onto the outer edge of the chair. And then take the right toes back, so kind of where we started working this. Pull the belly and the ribs in, lift that right leg. So it can come any amount, 1 inch, a couple inches, halfway, or parallel to the floor. Then, same thing. We're just building on. Take that left hand to the heart. Keep that standing leg a little bit soft. Keep the hip rolling down, the belly and the ribs in. Now, some of you might see about coming to the fingertips of that right hand. Maybe that right hand comes to the chest too. Maybe those arms come by your hips. Maybe none of that. Maybe you're still holding the chair and you're finding that hover point with both hands. Any of those options. We're just feeling that weight in that front leg. Okay. Now, soften your standing leg. Bring your back leg in line with it. And then just set it down. And straighten both legs. We'll do that. I was going to transition to something else, so we're going to turn the chair around for that. Okay, so other side. Soften your legs, hands to the outer edges of the chair. Right leg is forward now, left toes are back. Start to lift and extend that left leg. Start to straighten that right leg without locking it out. Pull into the midline, right hand to the heart. Left fingertips, so again, you're pausing anywhere along the way where your body feels challenged. Maybe both hands to the heart. Maybe both hands by your hips. Beautiful. Or you're hovering, right? You're right in this place where you're finding that balancing. Hands to the chair, bring that left knee in, soften your right knee, set it down. Take an inhale, get long in your spine. Pull the belly and ribs in. Hands to your hips maybe. Stand up. Okay. Now we're going to turn the chair around so that the taller side is facing towards you. And go ahead and have it to the side of you. And pick up one knee. And for now, try and do it with the strength of your core and just have the other arm out to the side. Then the arm that's on the chair is finding a little bit of lightness. Good. Now, roll out your ankle. And go the other direction with that ankle. Good. Now, grab a hold of your knee. Open it out to the side and bring it in. And out to the side and bring it in. So my standing hip is staying right over my ankle. And bring it in. Now bring it all the way out to the side. Options here. You can bring the foot to the upper inner thigh. You can set the foot to the calf. You can set the foot to the floor with the toes on the floor and the heel just above the ankle. So From here, pick where that foot is going. This is going to be probably your most stable. Just make sure that your foot is above or below the knee, so it's not resting on the side of the knee. Lift out of your standing hip. Lift up through your low belly. This hand can stay out to the side or not. It can come into the midline. This hand can try and hover or it can come into the midline. Find your balance. It helps to focus your gaze on something that is not moving, so your drishti is focused. Good. Now, from here, we're coming back to that knee, just hovering right up in front. If you can, keep your hands where they are and bring that knee up. If not, you're holding the chair. It's right there. Good. From here, step that standing leg or that lifted leg out. Grab a hold of the chair with the opposite hand, reach up and over towards the chair. Drop your other shoulder down out of the ear. And just get long in that side body that was just working. Well, it wasn't really working, but the side that was up. Good. And then come back up. And maybe flip your chair to the other side if you want, or just turn around, either way. But have that chair so that it's to the side of you, and pick up one leg. Use your core to lift it, your belly and your hip flexor, and circle out the ankle. The arm can be out, it can be on your hip, whatever works. Circle out that ankle and go the other direction. Good. And then take your hand and grab a hold of the knee, open it out to the side and in. And out to the side and in. And you can do this without the hand. It can just be helping you. Good. And then bring it all the way out and decide where this foot's landing. To the floor, to the calf, to the upper inner thigh. That knee is opening back, but your hips and shoulders are staying squared forward. There's equal and opposite energy between your leg and your foot. Lift out of your standing hip. So you're sitting up tall instead of sinking in and letting it jut out. You're lifting up, which involves lifting that belly and lifting that heart. And then one hand to the heart, perhaps both hands to the heart. You decide. Good. Focus, drishti, focus, breath. Then from here, that knee is going to come right up in front and hold it there. Hold it there. And then it's going to step way out to the side, stand even on the feet, grab your chair. Inhale, stretch the arm up and towards the chair, drop the chair arm, shoulder out of the ear, reach and press. And then inhale and come back up. Good. Step the feet together and go ahead and set your chair back up to sit in it. So let's go slowly into it. So stand right in front of your chair. Make sure it's there, yeah. Inhale, take the arms, stretch them up. Exhale, start to lower the arms and your hips at the same time, all the way, all the way, all the way, all the way. Hover, hover, peel your toes up, knees forward, toes forward, belly and ribs in. 3, 2, and sit yourself down. Good. Pick up your right knee and pull it into your shoulder. So you should feel like a little, almost a little pinch in that shoulder, but not hurting. Breathe into that. Good. And then flex your foot and cross the ankle over the knee so that the heel's coming just to the outside of your thigh. Make sure your bottom ankle is directly beneath the knee and the knees are in front of the hips pretty much. Inhale, sit tall here, and this might feel like plenty of work in that outer hip. You're sending that knee forward and down. Or you might take a little hinge forward. Again, try and keep that spine long here. You can rest your hands on your thighs If your hand's on the knee, just make sure it's not creating any pain. This foot is flexing to support the angle of your knee here. If your knee's way up in the air, then you're just sitting up and letting gravity kind of take that knee down. Breathe into wherever you are. Good, and then inhale and sit up here. From here, tuck your foot a little bit closer in so that you can maybe take your fingers between each of your toes. Stretch out the toes here. And then give your foot a little massage. So we did a lot of standing work today. Massage into the arch of the foot, the heel of the foot can get a squeeze, even up into the ankles, maybe even along the Achilles tendon or the top of the foot into the tendons. Give yourself, or in between the tendons rather. Good. And then bring that foot back flexed and the shin back parallel. Inhale, sit up tall. Take your, so I'm opposite you guys, take your right hand back behind you, stretch your left arm up, and then on the exhale, just use your core to twist. So no arms, just use the belly and rotate to the right. So I'm opposite you guys. Inhale, reach tall, exhale, belly in and rotate. If this arm doesn't want to be up, it can just rest down. That's fine if your shoulder's not liking that. But try and resist the urge to pull yourself into this twist and use just the strength of your waist and core to rotate you. One more time, inhale, lengthen. And then exhale, if the arm is up, set it down and take that gentle twist. Gaze can stay over the chest. It can move over the shoulder. Just make sure your neck feels okay wherever it is. Every inhale is a lengthening and the exhale is a twist. Good, and then inhale and unwind. Hold underneath the thigh, unwind that leg, keep the knee up and just extend the leg, bend it, extend and bend. You can do this without the arms, extend and bend. Extend, set the heel down, the toes pull back. Inhale, sit up tall, hold the chair for stability, hinge forward, or one hand on the thigh, one hand on the shin. Breathe here. And then unhinge as you come back up, slide that ankle right under the knee and pull the left knee into the left shoulder. A little bit of energy in those left toes. Breathe into that left hip. And then with the foot flexed, cross the ankle over for your figure four. Right ankle is right beneath the right knee. Left heel is just to the outside of the right thigh. Inhale, sit up tall here, stay here, or exhale and hinge yourself forward. Every inhale, lengthen forward. Exhale, soften into that hip, so driving the knee forward and down. And then inhale and unhinge, come up. Maybe pull that foot a little closer so that you can find that massage. Take the fingers between the toes, stretch out in between the toes. Massage into the foot. You can twist, squeeze, whatever massaging kind of feels good. Into the arch, into the heel, to the outer edge of the foot, the ankle, the Achilles tendon, top of the foot. Good. And then from here, take that left hand to the chair and inhale, stretch your right arm up tall. And this is just here for stability. And then on the exhale, twist towards your bent leg. Inhale, sit up tall again. Exhale, draw the belly in and rotate again, just using that waist. One more time, inhale, sit up tall. Exhale, belly in and rotate. And then go ahead and let that right hand drop to the left knee. And same thing, inhale, sit up tall, and exhale, rotate. Left foot staying flexed. Good. And then inhale and unwind. Slide your hands underneath your thigh, unwind the ankle, and extend and bend. Extend and bend. And again, you can do this with your arms or without. And then let it extend. Set the heel down, peel the toes back, inhale, sit up. Exhale and hinge forward. Neck is long, spine is long. You can hold the chair for stability, your hands on the shins and on the thigh. Beautiful. And then inhale and unhinge and slide that foot in. Okay. From here, we're going to turn around and lie down. If you don't want to lie down, you want to stay up in the chair, beautiful. You'll stay up in the chair. We'll do one more spinal twist in the chair or on the floor, and then we'll drop into our final resting pose. So you can stay right here as you are. If you want to lie down on the floor, my suggestion is you can either move the chair aside and just be on the floor, that's fine. It's nice to have the chair for a little inversion for your legs. So I kind of sit with my hip alongside my chair just in front of it. Then I'm going to use my hands to help rotate me around so that my feet can come up on the chair and I can help myself to lie down. And then whatever props you want here, maybe one under the head or whatever feels good here, you're going to take that. Okay. Wish I need 10 minutes. Nothing for 10 minutes. Okay, so once you lie down, extend your arms wide. And if you're sitting up in the chair, that's fine. Stay seated up nice and tall. Take an inhale. And then on the exhale, slide the soles of the feet to the front edge of the chair, but just in tight, so you're not going to knock the chair over, but knees in towards the chest. And then use the chair, if it's stable, to just slide your hips over to the left. And then you're going to drop the knees to the right. Now, if your knees don't want to come all the way to the floor, then set a pillow under your thighs. You can even set a pillow in between your knees to help your hips feel more comfortable. So whatever props you want, take them. Your gaze can stay up to the ceiling, or it can look up to over to the opposite arm. Try and anchor that left shoulder down as you spin the hips to the right. And breathe. Nice. And then on the inhale, gaze back to neutral. Bring one leg up at a time. We're going to slide your hips through center, now over to the right. Bring the knees in tight and just twist them to the other side. Take whatever props with you and set yourself up on this side, either under the left thigh or knee and between the legs. And then anchor that right shoulder down, maybe gaze to the right or gaze up, whatever feels good. Think about sending your right hip away from your right shoulder. So your waist is staying long, even in this twist, even in the rotation. Big, deep breaths. Inhale, still creating length. Exhale, like you're wringing out. And then on the next inhale, bring your gaze back to neutral. Bring one leg up at a time. And then bring the hips back to neutral in line with your shoulders. From here, take the knees wide to your shoulders, hug around your knees, and just rock yourself side to side. If we have space to do that, or your feet can be resting on the chair, that's okay too. If you're seated in the chair, just let your knees come wide, your feet and your knees come wide. And stretch the inner thighs. And then if you're seated in the chair, you're going to stay as you are. If you're on the floor, you're going to slide your hands behind your thighs and take the soles of the feet up to the sky, to the ceiling, like you're going to do a happy baby. You can stay here holding the thighs, or take your arms in between your legs and maybe grab onto your calves or your Achilles tendons, or maybe you grab all the way up to the soles of the feet. But try, or the heels of the feet rather, but keep the soles of the feet facing the ceiling and keep the tailbone down on the floor. So you're not curling up to get that clasp wherever you need to, so that the entire length of your spine can be down on the floor instead of curled and rounded up. Take one more breath here. And then unwind the arms, maybe grab onto your shins, your ankles, or the outer edges of the feet, and just bring the soles of the feet together and then down towards your body and maybe rock side to side here. Beautiful. And then let the knees come together and rock side to side again. And then legs either long on the floor or on your chair. Relax your whole body here. It kind of helps if you can pick up your tailbone and lengthen it so that the low back is long. You can slide the shoulders down away from the ears. Your arms can be out alongside your body, or sometimes it feels good to bend the elbows and just rest the hands right on your belly or your hips. Go ahead and close your eyes. We're going to come back into that controlled Ujjayi breath for a few rounds. Again, inhaling for 4, holding for 2, but this time we'll exhale for 6. So here we go. Exhale all the breath wherever you are. And go ahead and inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Hold full. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, empty. Inhale, hearing your breath. 2, 3, 4. Pause, full. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, empty. Couple more rounds. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Pause, full. Exhale 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause, empty. Last one. Inhale 1, 2, 3, 4. Keep going. Sip in a little bit more air, as much air as you can. Fill up all the way. Soften your face, soften your jaw, soften your throat. Sip in a little bit more air. And then as if you're deflating a balloon, slowly out the mouth. Feeling the whole body melt down into the earth. Feeling the eyelids get heavy and the muscles in the face soften. The teeth separate. And the tongue even relax off the roof of the mouth. And every part of you dropping into your final resting pose, Shavasana. Are we done yet? I'm going to read this letter that I received yesterday, and I read yesterday in class. So we'll read it today. Yesterday, Christians celebrated Easter, which commemorates the resurrection of Jesus on the third day after his crucifixion. Earlier in the week, Jews observed Passover, remembering the delivery of the Israelites out of Egyptian slavery. These holy times are a reminder that the human story has long been a story of suffering and redemption. Through pain comes wisdom and freedom. Through the wound comes the salve. Humanity is once again enduring hardship. People are ill, healthcare workers, scientists, and folks in the supply chain are battling on the front lines. Unemployment is soaring and financial hardship is falling on millions. So many of us are locked down, grappling with fear, anxiety, and loneliness. This sacred week doesn't smell like the tulips of springtime. However, lurking in the shadows of the uncertainty and chaos, there is a sliver of hope. There are new, if forced, patterns of behavior emerging that beg us to ask ourselves, maybe cooking is better than going out. Maybe less convenience is more fulfilling. Maybe remote work is more efficient and better for the environment. Maybe I don't need new clothes, trinkets, and devices to be happy. Maybe I actually like my kids, and more surprisingly, maybe even they like me. Maybe growing a carrot makes it taste better. Maybe I should know my neighbor's name. Maybe I don't need to pursue some romantic notion of traveling the world. Maybe God is exactly where I am. Maybe if enough people wake up to a better way of life, then we can define new metrics of collective success, and the myth of endless growth can wither away. Maybe we can create sustainable local economies that don't require exploitation of anonymous workers and landscapes around the globe. Maybe we can rediscover a passion for civic engagement and reinvigorate the public square. Maybe there is a new human story. Maybe. I don't know. These are questions. Regardless of whether you take the story of the resurrection literally or metaphorically, it serves as a reminder that every day we wake with the opportunity to resurrect ourselves, to live in greater alignment with our highest principles, both individually and collectively. If you wish to stay in Shavasana, stay just as you are. If you're ready to begin transitioning to the rest of your day, just start by noticing your body, feeling the shape your body is taking, feeling the contact your body is making with the earth, and starting to feel into your breath and notice the breath. And then starting to deepen that breath. When you're ready, bringing movement back into the body in whatever way feels good, perhaps the hands or the feet. And then let one hand just come to rest on the heart and one hand come to rest on the belly. And as you feel this connection with yourself, maybe even turn the corners of the mouth up again and come to that thing that brings you joy or for which you are grateful. Bring it into your mind's eye. Bring that feeling of presence and intention back in as well. May we be at peace. May our hearts remain open. May we be awakened to the light of our true nature. May we be healed. May we be a source of healing and kindness for all beings. Namaste. Thank you all so much for being here. Have a wonderful rest of your day. We will do gentle yoga on Wednesday, same time. Have a wonderful day.